Imagine spending 4 decades meticulously building a mountain of wealth, only to discover a silent partner is legally entitled to a massive slice of it the moment you stop working. That silent partner is the IRS, and for millions of savers relying exclusively on traditional pre-tax retirement accounts, the taxes owed in retirement can feel like a devastating financial penalty. We work tirelessly to accumulate capital, yet often overlook the critical strategy of shielding that hard-earned money from future taxation. The ultimate defense against this future tax burden lies in a specific financial vehicle designed to invert the traditional rules of saving. By choosing to pay taxes up front on the money we invest today, we unlock a lifetime of exponential, completely untaxed expansion. This is the strategic power of the Roth IRA, a transformative tool in modern retirement planning that permanently removes the IRS from your future investment gains and makes your long-term wealth truly your own. Executing this play requires a fundamental shift in how we handle our income and our savings. Instead of taking a tax deduction now, we fund this account with after-tax contributions, meaning the money going in has already been taxed at our current known rate. From that moment forward, every dollar of profit, every dividend, and every capital gain generated inside the account belongs entirely to us, completely shielded from future federal income taxes when withdrawn in our later years. To fully grasp the magnitude of this advantage, we must look back to the 1997 Taxpayer Relief Act, championed by Senator William Roth. Before this landmark legislation, savers were largely locked into a system where taxes were merely deferred, creating a looming liability that grew right alongside their investments. The creation of the Roth IRA introduced a radical new paradigm, offering everyday investors a legal, government-sanctioned fortress against future tax liabilities and fundamentally changing the landscape of personal finance. Inside this tax-free fortress, capital is free to harness the mathematical phenomenon known as compound interest, which is the process where the money you invest earns returns, and those returns then generate their own returns over time. When this snowballing effect operates without the annual drag of capital gains taxes or the heavy toll of income taxes upon withdrawal, the acceleration of wealth becomes truly staggering. The math heavily favors those who remove tax friction from the equation. The historical trajectory of United States tax rates reveals exactly why locking in today's tax rate is often a brilliant tactical maneuver. Current federal tax brackets remain near historic lows compared to the massive rates seen in the mid-20th century. And with national debt levels continuing to climb, many economists project that future tax rates will inevitably rise. Paying taxes today at a known, historically favorable rate eliminates the severe risk of facing much higher brackets decades down the road. This realization leads us to the critical concept of tax diversification, a strategy that involves spreading your investments across different types of accounts with varying tax treatments. Just as you wouldn't put all your money into a single company's stock, you should not hold all your retirement wealth in accounts that will be taxed identically. Having pools of taxable, tax-deferred, and completely tax-free money provides immense tactical flexibility when you finally begin drawing down your hard-earned assets. Implementing this diversification means actively balancing a traditional 401k or IRA against a Roth IRA throughout your career. In years where your income is lower, prioritizing after-tax contributions maximizes your long-term advantage, while peak high-earning years might warrant utilizing pre-tax accounts to lower your immediate tax burden. This dynamic balancing act ensures you are never forced to pull from a highly taxed account during a year when you need extra capital for living expenses or unexpected medical bills. The true beauty of this strategy is the absolute control it grants you over your financial destiny in retirement. Because qualified distributions from a Roth IRA do not count as taxable income, you can pull substantial sums of money to buy a retirement home or cover major expenses without accidentally bumping yourself into a higher tax bracket. You dictate the terms of your wealth rather than allowing a rigid tax code to dictate your lifestyle and spending power. Of course, the account itself is merely an empty basket. The real wealth generation depends entirely on the assets we choose to hold inside it. For long-term growth, many investors turn to ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, which are pooled investment vehicles that track a specific index or sector and can be bought and sold like individual stocks. Placing high-growth assets like equity ETFs inside a tax-free wrapper maximizes the total untaxed capital you will eventually harvest. This highlights the immense importance of strategic asset allocation, the practice of dividing your investment portfolio among different asset categories, such as stocks, bonds, and cash, to balance risk and reward. Because the Roth IRA offers unparalleled tax-free growth, it is mathematically optimal to place your most aggressive, highest-returning assets inside it. Leave the slower-growing conservative bonds in your traditional tax-deferred accounts where the eventual tax hit will be much smaller and more manageable. Maximizing growth in this aggressive manner is our primary defense against inflation, the steady, silent decrease in the purchasing power of money over time. When inflation runs high, every single dollar buys less, meaning our retirement portfolios must grow significantly just to maintain our current standard of living. The tax-free returns generated by our after-tax contributions ensure that we capture the full, unadulterated power of our market gains to outpace rising costs and protect our future purchasing power. However, executing this aggressive growth strategy requires immense psychological discipline, especially when broader economic conditions inevitably deteriorate. Market volatility is an inescapable reality of investing, and watching the balance of your Roth IRA drop during a severe recession can trigger a powerful, irrational urge to retreat to cash. It is vital to remember that all investing carries inherent risk, and abandoning a long-term strategy during temporary downturns permanently destroys the future compounding potential of those untaxed assets. A common hurdle many face when attempting to execute this playbook is the government's strict income limits on direct contributions. As your career progresses and your salary increases, you may eventually earn too much to contribute directly to a Roth IRA, seemingly locking you out of this incredibly powerful wealth-building tool. This legislative ceiling frustrates many successful professionals who are eager to continue shielding their capital from future taxation as their earning power peaks. Fortunately, the tax code contains a perfectly legal, widely utilized maneuver known as the backdoor Roth strategy. This involves making a non-deductible contribution to a traditional IRA and then immediately converting those funds into a Roth IRA, legally bypassing the restrictive income limits. While this play requires careful paperwork and an understanding of specific IRS regulations like the pro rata rule, it ensures high earners can continue building their tax-free fortress year after year without interruption. Beyond the ultimate payoff in retirement, the unique structure of these accounts offers a surprising level of mid-game flexibility that empowers investors right now. Because you have already paid taxes on your initial contributions, the IRS allows you to withdraw that principal amount at any time, for any reason, without facing taxes or early withdrawal penalties. This unique feature fundamentally changes how we view the liquidity and accessibility of our long-term retirement savings. While this liquidity exists, treating your tax-free growth engine as a simple emergency fund is a severe strategic error that can derail your financial future. Every dollar pulled from the account prematurely is a dollar permanently stripped of its ability to compound tax-free over the coming decades. The flexibility should be viewed strictly as a psychological safety net, providing profound peace of mind rather than a readily accessible checking account for everyday expenses or impulsive purchases. Another massive structural advantage emerges in our later years regarding required minimum distributions. Traditional retirement accounts force you to begin withdrawing a specific percentage of your money in your 70s, generating taxable income whether you actually need the capital or not. The Roth IRA has no such requirement during the lifetime of the original owner, allowing your wealth to continue compounding uninterrupted for as long as you live, providing unmatched control over your capital. This absence of forced distributions makes the account an unparalleled instrument for generational wealth transfer and legacy building. As the largest intergenerational transfer of wealth in history currently unfolds, families utilizing these tax-free accounts are successfully passing down massive portfolios to their heirs. Beneficiaries inherit the account completely tax-free, receiving a financial legacy that has been completely insulated from the heavy taxation typically associated with inherited estates and traditional inherited IRAs. Navigating these complex rules regarding conversions, distributions, and estate planning often requires professional guidance to avoid costly mistakes. This is where partnering with a fiduciary becomes absolutely crucial. A fiduciary is a financial advisor legally and ethically bound to act solely in your best financial interest rather than pushing products for hidden commissions. A qualified fiduciary can help you optimize your conversion strategies and ensure your tax diversification aligns perfectly with your broader life goals. To maximize the effectiveness of this entire strategy, unwavering consistency and automation must become the foundational habits of your financial life. Setting up automatic monthly transfers into your investment accounts ensures that you are continually acquiring assets regardless of turbulent market conditions. This systematic approach removes the destructive emotion of trying to time the market, allowing the underlying mechanics of your portfolio to work silently and efficiently in the background year after year. The earlier this systematic approach is deployed, the more dramatic and life-changing the final outcome will be. A young investor making modest after-tax contributions in their 20s will mathematically outpace an older investor contributing maximum amounts in their 50s, simply because the younger investor has purchased decades of additional time. Time is the absolute ultimate multiplier in the complex equation of wealth, and tax-free time is undoubtedly the most valuable asset of all. Understanding and deploying this playbook transforms the often abstract, intimidating concept of retirement planning into a concrete, highly controllable reality. We are no longer passive participants hoping for a favorable tax code in the future. We are active, informed strategists locking in our advantages today. The profound peace of mind that comes from knowing a substantial portion of your future wealth is permanently immune to taxation is a victory that money alone cannot buy. Ultimately, this tax-free growth vehicle is just one vital component of a comprehensive financial strategy, working in tandem with effective debt management, disciplined budgeting, and broader economic awareness. Real financial security requires a holistic view, where every single dollar is assigned a specific job and every account serves a distinct, deliberate, tactical purpose. The seamless integration of all these elements creates a highly resilient financial foundation capable of weathering any unforeseen economic storm. Mastering your financial future is never about discovering hidden secrets, taking reckless gambles, or chasing the latest speculative trends. It is about consistently executing proven, data-backed strategies over long periods of time. By fully leveraging the mechanics of tax-free growth, you reclaim absolute control over your capital and build a legacy of lasting, unshakable wealth. The playbook is open, the rules are clear, and the power to secure your financial independence rests entirely in your hands.